Hello, it's Jay. Today I'm gonna talk about how I take my art from this to this, or this to this, or this to this. Just to give a few examples of like the before and after when I do this. Also, before I get into talking about that, I do just want to say that if anybody's doing Art Fight this year, add me. As I'm recording this, the teams just got revealed today. So you can choose now. And I picked Team Mystery. There's comedy, mystery, and tragedy. I picked mystery. I thought it fit the vibe of my characters better and the story. And also, I heard that there were less people on that team, so I thought I'll try and even it out. But yeah. Go take a look at that if you're interested. So the first thing I do, for this, I haven't recorded the line art, line art. Let's not call it that. It's a sketch. But I have recorded the base colors because that's, I guess, an important place to start. But you can see I've started with just adding this fleshy blush to the just everything on where there's skin. Mostly just starting with basic sort of shadow where the shadows will be. I added more detail to the nose than I usually would in this stage. But it gives me a better starting point, I think, because usually I really struggle with the nose. And I think the 3D form of the nose is what I struggle with most, to be honest. So I wouldn't say it's perfect the way I do it. I think I need to do some studies for sure. But I think another reason that made this difficult, rendering this in particular, is that a lot of my examples for rendering that I've done are things I've done referenced from pictures of people celebrities or idols or something. So I have a direct reference of the facial features. This is Yosuke from Persona 4. So he's a fictional character, obviously. So it's not I have a reference for a realistic face for him. So it's a little bit difficult in this sense. So I feel my rendering style is kind of different depending on if I'm drawing a real person from a real reference or if I'm just drawing a video game or anime character straight out of my brain without a reference, really. Which is why referencing is very important. But I did not do that here. So use references. Also, I recorded this differently. I tried to record it the way I usually do with my webcam where you can see my hand. You just can't see the colors, I don't know, the camera or something to do with the exposure, and I tried editing a bunch of settings and I just couldn't get it to where you could see the colors properly, and I was that kind of doesn't work for a video where I'm talking a lot about colors and specific details, so I just thought I'll screen record it. Also, this is my first time using studio mode in Clip Studio Paint. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hated it. I think I got used to it eventually, not gonna lie. But I did, at some point in this video, you'll see I switched back to studio mode. But the reason I wanted to do studio mode was, not studio, oh my god. The reason I wanted to do simple mode was because I thought maybe for recording it would give a better view of what's going on. So let me know what you prefer or what looks better to watch, because I'm not sure. I like both. I like using both, but I do prefer studio. I guess it doesn't really matter, but if anybody has a preference, let me know and I'll keep that in mind, I guess. But here you can see I'm basically just doing base colors, and also adding shadows, simple, soft-ish shadows. Not too much detail, but just a little bit of detail so that I have something to go off when I start rendering, because I have some like very messy starts sometimes, and sometimes I have some more like clean starts. And it's when you have like a cleaner base, it's so much easier to get started with the rendering. Sometimes when it's too messy, I'm like, where do I even start with this? And it takes me a lot longer to do the rendering, and it's just a hard time. I don't know what to tell you. I was going in with some like basic shadows on a multiply layer here, just so that I have some like actual shadows to start with, and also because I'm using like purple shadows here. Everything else I'd done before was kind of the same color as what I was shading, like the skin or the hair, just like different tones, like different hues and values and such. But when I do multiply, I use a purple, and it adds like, I don't know, it adds a little something to the shadows, you know. I do the same with add. I use like a soft yellow. Now this is where you can see I start shading. I start with the nose this time. I either start with like the blush on the cheeks, the eyes, or the nose. That's like the three things I start with. And I guess I started with the nose this time because I already had some like detail established. But yeah, I focus a lot on like establishing the forms, I guess, and just like cleaning up. I changed the line art color to be like more reddish, so I could color pick those shades and use them here. So I kind of establish the forms of the nose, like with shadows and such, like the nostrils and the bridge. I usually add this soft bluish color in the shadows, but I started doing that way too early, so I turned it down. You can see I like blend the nose bridge into like the eye socket area. This is something I would not say I'm the best at explaining this kind of thing, but I never fully do one part. I like make progress on it. Like you can see I started with the nose, and I made some decent progress on that. It looks decent, but then I move on to somewhere else and build up small parts, and then I go back and I add more detail over time to each part and finish it up. So you can see I'm doing this eye at the minute, and I'll move on from this part, but you can see that I go back to it like a few times to add more detail or fix little things I've suddenly noticed aren't quite right. I kind of made it easy on myself having like the winky thing, because having to render both eyes is difficult sometimes, trying to match the same level of detail. Or I don't know, I guess I just got to focus on this one more. But it's probably because I didn't have a reference. I struggled with these eyes, like adding like the shadow underneath and like the kind of eye bag type thing. Also, for pretty much all of the rendering process, I use the SU cream pencil, if that's how you're meant to say it, or I don't know if it's Sue or SU. I'm just gonna say SU. But yeah, I use that pencil for like everything basically. I've spoken about this brush before, and I'll speak about it again. If anybody's interested, I guess I'll like maybe start putting brushes in the description so you can try them out. But I do occasionally use the airbrush to like add more like softness to areas, or add more vibrant color. I don't know. I really need to get better at like describing the things I'm doing. I'll work on that, I promise. You can kind of tell more than anything that I really focus on the face. Like, that's the part that I'm really interested in. I really like faces. The hair and the body and the clothes, that just kind of comes along with it, so, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. But I really like doing the face, so that's why I add the most detail. And I suspect that most of this recording is probably the face. That said, I do feel like I need to improve my rendering of clothes and hair and such. Because I focus so much on the face, and I kind of have a good thing going there, but I need to step out my comfort zone, practice more stuff. The hardest part of this was definitely trying to add shadows without a reference of where they would be. I am not the smartest cookie on the bookshelf, so I struggle to do things straight from my head like this. Like, if I had a reference, this would be way better. Like, it's hard to do this without a reference and not have it look kind of flat. Or at least that's the issue I was having. I posted on my TikTok asking how to improve it. I got some decent feedback there, so thanks to anyone who gave me feedback on how to make it look better and less flat, I guess. Also kind of just an excuse for me to plug my TikTok. Go follow my TikTok, Lactose Lizard. And also my Instagram, also Lactose Lizard. Basically everything is the same user. I'm just gonna let the music play until I have something to talk about. The more I watch myself do this, the more I think, wow, I have a lot to learn. In the sense that doing this, especially without a reference, you need to have a pretty decent understanding of the planes of the face and the form and, I don't know, how light and shadow works. And I have a basic grasp of this, but I could be so much better, which I'm realizing, and I guess I'll work on it, I don't know. When I think about that, sometimes I feel kind of defeated when I think about all the places where I'm lacking, but I don't know, I guess I'll be positive about it. You gotta be positive about it, you just gotta think, instead of, oh, look all these things I can't do, it's, look how much more I have to learn. And if you think like that, you will always keep learning, I guess. But yeah, watching myself do this, it's very hard for me to watch this and not think, golly goodness, that could have been better. About lots of different parts and just like the overall thing. So I guess it's good I know what to put some time into. But it's just like, I've spent all this time doing portraits and character drawings, and there's so many things completely unrelated and completely opposite to this kind of thing that I definitely need to put some time in and learn. But then I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, all this time spent doing portraits and I still have so much to learn. It's crazy. When you do this kind of thing, there is no ceiling. You will always improve, always find new things to learn, new ways to improve, different things to try, different things to practice. It's very fun, but it's also kind of exhausting knowing that like you just gotta keep going forever and always improve and always strive for more. But if anything, that just gives you a reason to keep doing it, because it's not like something you complete and you think, I guess that's that. I guess that's why I love art. It's something I know that I can do forever, and it will always be interesting and it will always be fun. And I love that. It's like, for a long time it's been the only constant in my life, if that makes sense. Because, I mean, I take breaks every now and then, I get demotivated now and then, but I always come back to doing this. I love doing this. Sorry to go kind of corny on you there, but it's true, I guess. So, I guess I'll try and find as many ways as I can to share that love with the world. I'll keep drawing, I'll keep posting, even if sometimes you don't get seen. It doesn't matter. As long as there's fun in doing it, I guess I'll keep doing it. Oh, I wasn't looking, but this is where I switched to studio mode. I just feel like there's so much more ease for me. Maybe it's just because I'm used to it, but I felt like I had to click so many buttons to get up like one setting to change, or change to this brush or to this tool, or change colors, and it's just like, it kind of felt like a pain. With studio mode, I can just click once, really, and I get the tool I want. Whereas simple mode, it feels like it's hidden, obviously to keep the interface simple. That's why it's called simple mode. But it just felt like I had to go through so much more effort just to change my tool, and it did not do any good for my process, in the sense that I felt like it was slowing me down a little bit. Also, I want to take a moment to talk about why I drew this, which is the trailer for Persona 4 Revival. Oh my goodness. Persona 4 was the first Persona game I played, so for that reason it's very special to me, and I will always love the original game. Well, I didn't play the vanilla, I played Golden, so I guess it's not the original version of the game, but it still had the old graphics and that. I'm so excited to see everything updated. But I'm also interested to see what they'll change, what they'll keep. Either way, Persona 4 is very special to me, so I'm excited to play the remake. Although I do still need to finish Persona 3 Reload, which is my first exposure to Persona 3. I had never played any of the previous versions of the game. Mostly just because I didn't have a device that it would play on, because it's such an old game. And I don't really know much about emulating games, so I didn't do that. Also, I still can't believe that Persona 6 is going to be a thing. Like, I saw people talking about it, and I was like, oh, that's funny. Like, I didn't believe it. I was like, oh, people are just joking. And then I looked for myself, and I was like, they actually posted this reveal trailer thing. But even then, I feel like I'm I feel like I still don't believe it. I kind of feel like it's a prank put together by like literally everybody else to prank me specifically. Like, I don't believe you. But that's very exciting and I can't wait. But I will have to. Anyway, with this news in mind, I was like, I gotta draw something Persona 4 related. And of course I chose Yosuke because he's my favorite from the game. I don't even really know why. But knowing that, you bet that I am hoping and praying they put that Yosuke romance route back in. Give back what you took from us, you know? Like, of all the characters in the game, he's the one that I want to be able to date. And they were gonna do it, and then they changed their minds. Also, from this point forward, in like a few seconds, there we go. I was getting stressed about how I was going to put this together because I didn't realize I could do this on my tablet, which is what I'm recording it on. I thought I would have to send all these really long clips to my laptop somehow and put it together there, so because of that I was like, okay, I'm just going to stop recording this. And then I realized that was a bad idea because now I'm missing like some footage of like the end portion of this, but I didn't do too much. I did finish up the rendering a little bit, and I added like some extra light and shadows with an airbrush. I added like some sparklies. My watermark is there, and I've been doing this lately where I duplicate the image and I put it behind itself and like enlarge it and lower the opacity just to add a little something, because this is just like a portrait and I need something more interesting going on, so I added that. I do that quite often lately. It adds a bit of something, and I add like overlays and filters for the colors and such, and like a noise texture over the top, and I do some like soft blurring of some areas and like the overall thing, just to make it look kind of nice and dreamy looking. But yeah, this is, I guess, relatively simple as far as rendering goes. I've done some more detailed pieces for sure, but I am quite happy with this, aside from being able to kind of see all my, not shortcomings, but areas for improvement, I guess. But I mean, it's been a long time since I've drawn Yosuke. Okay, here is the last time I drew Yosuke digitally. I think I've drawn him in my sketchbook a few times. But this is a long time ago. This is 2021, so that's like 5 years ago. Do you think I've improved in that time? Is this a better Yosuke? Let me know. I certainly think it is. With that, I have no more footage, and I don't think I have anything else to talk about, so I think that's everything. Thanks for watching, and if you have any like ideas for either things I should draw or like different video ideas I could do, let me know, I guess. I'll do my best to make videos that people want to see. But first of all, I gotta know what people want to see. And until then, I'll just keep making whatever I can get my grubby little hands on for now. But thanks for watching, and again, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at LactoseLizard. But yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.